We have been trying to tell you not only the story of the numbers of mass deportation, but how insane and cruel and self-destructive it's been with the individual stories of the people that they're actually targeting. And I don't know if we're gonna come up with a better example of how much this policy is shooting us in the foot than this, which is that immigration agents went and arrested 2 Mexican contractors helping to battle an active wildfire in Olympic National Forest in Washington, according to their supervisor who was there for that. It was one of the first times federal immigration agents have been known to enter a fire zone to carry out the mass deportation orders. And notice in that sentence, it says it was one of the first times. When we do reports on how ICE is getting burned out and all that, and how their reputation is being destroyed, they're now repeatedly going into active fire zones to try to hunt people down. And again, we can bring up some B-roll of the actual arrests. I think that we have some footage, but with no sound. These are people that are there to put out the fire, to save American lives. And I know that's not gonna be really convincing to a lot of these Republicans, so I'll put it in terms that they'll understand. To save American property, okay? They were gonna save buildings and cars and businesses from being burned out. Nope, doesn't matter. Let it all burn, they gotta go. And this is the group that you're seeing right there. It's 44 firefighters. They were about a mile from the Bear Gulch fire line. It was only 13% contained. Again, a very active fire, and that they need the help. But this is what they're choosing to do, Brett. And so we're getting rid of our teachers, we're getting rid of people from our communities, we're getting, like, in a housing crisis, we're getting rid of people that are skilled in the trades, and now we're doing this as well. What do you think?
I have a very controversial opinion on this, John. And it starts with this. Are fires bad? Like, are wildfires bad, John?
Yes.
Do you want to put them out?
Yes.
What do you put them out with?
Water.
What is frozen water, John?
No!
Ice! We need ice at the front line!
Honestly, if you were to take ICE and have them fight the fires, I would be more sympathetic towards them.
Honestly, it's so bonkers. When you hear this, like, they wouldn't let people, like, oh, can I get a message so we could FaceTime this guy's family so he knows what's happening? The firefighters were like told, according to the Seattle Times report, that was the original report, no, you can't. Sorry, you can't. Like, originally they were told by ICE that they couldn't videotape any of it, but some officials, I can't remember if it was ICE or the firefighters overseers, that you can't film any of this. And just remember what's happening. These dudes are helping. What's the criticism of immigrants? What was the central premise of Trump? Like, these immigrants are coming, they're raping, they're murdering, they got the drugs, they got the crime. These dudes are not. These guys are fighting fires in America.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not, and they weren't arrested because you knew who it was. It was on suspicion. You know how stupid you'd have to be to, like, sign your name up to help show up and be like this bad person in order to trigger them knowing it's you to come there? And even if they are, this is helping. This is helping. This is not the evil criminal. This is a firefighter. And when people hate cops, but no one hates firefighters. But Trump goes, round him up. Or he's like, I don't care who it is. Go down there and arrest people. And ICE is like, well, I'm a lazy moron, so I'll just find wherever I hear the Mexicans are.
Yeah, that's all it is. And again, I don't. Is it Trump? I don't know. I feel like this is just Stephen Miller. I feel like Trump. Trump's definitely a racist and he wants to do this stuff. But I think it's Stephen Miller that's like, he sleeps a maximum of 2 hours a night because he's just trying to come up with how can we round up more people darker skinned than me. I think that he is relentless in that.
Well, no, he sleeps during the day because sunlight is actually kills him.
Probably. By the way, all the Mexican contract workers there, which is about half the crew, carried work visas and passports, but federal officials were suspicious that they were here illegally. Sneaking into America to fight our fires for us. How dare they? How dare the injustice of it all? Imagine if ICE hadn't been there, what would have happened? They would have done their job and fought the fire with full documentation. It's all documented and everything. Again, that's what they're doing. I just want to end with the experience of the crew as they watched all this happening. According to the crew leader, says the enforcement action left a sour feeling among the crew members. They were not allowed to say goodbye to the 2 men who were arrested, and they were forced to stand around for about 3 hours while the federal agents checked their records. Diaz said all he could do was hand one of the detained men a mango cream soda, which is still legal in America. I'm sure Stephen Miller will get to that at some point. I read that last bit, or the second last bit, to point out that it is not just that they took from the crew these 2 men that they detained. They made the entire crew stand around for 3 hours while an uncontained wildfire rampaged through the area. That's what they did. Again, like, we point out that all of this is cruel and evil because it's cruel and evil. But if that's not persuasive to you, and I understand that for at least 40% of America it's not, this is stupid and wasteful and self-destructive, okay? When your house is burning down, I hope in that moment that you can look past your hatred of Salvadorans or whatever. And we can all come together to save your private property, but perhaps not. Perhaps their xenophobia is actually stronger than their self-preservation instincts.
I feel like in a John book, it is actually the fires that get set are set off by the hatred energy of the people who are arresting the people who are helping. It is a vicious cycle. But they're all mice people.
I was gonna say I could come up with that idea, but I actually kind of do have a movie that's kind of based around that. Actually, I don't want to say anything more. The short will be coming out later this year.
Really?
In any event, yeah. Actually, it's not really explicit in the short, but in the full version, that is kind of what's driving the apocalypse. But anyway, I don't want to say anything more. I don't want it to be stolen by like the guy who made weapons or something. If you enjoyed that, make sure that you never miss another video by subscribing. And if you want a little more, consider hitting the join button and becoming an actual member. But you're probably wondering, why the hell would I do that, John? First off, calm down. The stakes in this are very, very low. But also, when you click the join button and you become a member, you get access to bonus content that I make every week, and it's a ton of fun. You get access to tons of custom emojis and more besides that. By the way, if you join at tier 3, you even get access to a monthly member hangout with myself and other awesome people, and we always have a great time. By the way, you'll get all that going forward, but you also unlock years of the back catalog. That is literally 100 or more bonus clips, top 10 lists, debates, and more. What are you waiting for? Click the join button below. Your support powers our show, and we couldn't do it without you. Or at the very least, I wouldn't really want to try. Viewers like you keep me here. So thank you in advance for joining.